Now, here's a pretty terrifying list. The plague, rabies and salmonella. What these killer diseases have in common is that they all came from animals, and that's thought to be the case for coronavirus. Well, now environmental groups are calling for an overhaul of how we interact with nature. Thomas Moore reports now on how scientists want to learn lessons that will keep us safer in the future.
The Covid-19 pandemic is thought to have started in a market in Wuhan, but the virus almost certainly has its origins in bats. The mammals host more than 500 different coronaviruses, and antibody studies have shown that several have been transmitted to people living near colonies, but have so far failed to spread further. Scientists warn the next pandemic will come from animals, and destruction of wildlife habitats is making it more likely.
There's evidence that there's a rising number of infectious disease outbreaks. All outbreaks, not just zoonotic diseases, have been increasing. So then the academic community has turned its attention to, well, why is that? You know, and as 2/3 of all human infectious diseases are from animals, then there's likely something to do with how we're changing ecosystems and changing the climate that changes those infectious disease patterns.
Deforestation is the biggest cause of habitat loss. Land cleared in the Amazon for cattle ranches, crops and mining was 64% higher in April than the same time last year. But palm oil used in many brands on supermarket shelves in the UK is also resulting in great swathes of forest being burnt or felled.
We set the timer for the next pandemic if we don't start to tackle some of the root causes, which includes deforestation, illegal wildlife trade, but also intensive agriculture. And ultimately, what's at the heart of this is that humans are being brought ever closer into contact with wildlife and its exploitation, and this is where we're seeing the rise of infectious diseases.
Ebola, Lassa fever and bird flu have all spread from animals. Conservation groups warn that world leaders must respond to the Covid-19 pandemic by protecting nature for the future health of humanity. Thomas Moore, Sky News.